When you lie to yourself, you are a victim to yourself. Because you have to look in the mirror and know you lied until you decide to tell the truth. The truth isn't always nice. It can be bad. It can be mean. It can be soul crushing. But the truth must always go above someone's feelings. There's many ways to tell the truth. It's ultimately up to you on how you decide to tell the truth. I want to talk to you about a subject that won't sit well with some people, and this won't sit well with some people because it shatters a misconception. It collapses a narrative they put into their heads. But like I said, the truth must always go above someone's feelings. The LGBTQ plus community has a problem. To be clear, this is not a generalization. If none of this applies to you, then you have no reason to take personal offense. If you want to be offended on someone else's behalf, then go for it. So this problem is with the radicals and the companies that use the LGBTQ plus community. First, the radicals. If you go out of your way to look into this, you'll be able to find evidence on this. What I'm referring to is teachers coming out to students. Now we know child molestation from male and female teachers have unfortunately been a thing for many years now. So what I'm saying shouldn't seem far-fetched, but don't take my word for it. Put on any non-far left news channel and you might come across it. The other radicals are the drag queens, grown men, sometimes sporting a full beard, maybe it's dyed or has some gray hairs, or if they want to attempt to be committed to the gimmick, they might have a 5 o'clock shadow, sprinkle some body hair, and then a colorful dress. All this to show off to little kids. I mean, they have to look their best for drag queen story time. But fear not, for all of this perfectly normal behavior is family friendly. Nothing inappropriate about men in drag twerking at kids, or dancing on a stripper pole, or a neon sign that may or may not say it's not gonna lick itself. Why take your kids to Chuck E. Cheese when you can take them to a drag queen show? Why have your kids playing in the ball pit when they can have grown men shake their ball pits? The parents that take their kids to these events definitely deserve Parent of the Year awards. What does it say when a group of people defend pedophilia? How is it okay for grown men in women's clothing displaying inappropriate behavior such as twerking at children? How is it okay for teachers to be openly discussing their sex life and relationship status to children? How can any of this be defended? You really think you have the moral high ground on this? I guess you people, we should expose kids to drugs and prostitution. Forget learning their ABCs. Why let them play with friends or action figures? Just take them to a drag show or sit down for another edition of Drag Queen Storytime. How about sports? Want to be a role model for women and make history? Well, too bad, because a trans man wants to invade women's sports because as a biological man, they suck, so they weasel their way in your sports. It's not empowering, it's embarrassing. How much of a bitch you have to be to compete in women's sports knowing you're a whole man with an obvious advantage says a lot. It's definitely not pride, and women need to speak up about it. Speaking of pride, let's discuss the pride parades. A parade meant for celebration of those who are different. A coming together of people who share the same sexuality and those who just want to show support and love. Well, at least that's what it once was. Now it's just an excuse to play dress up, seek attention by wearing as little clothing as possible, and to stand out the most with the most obnoxious getup you can throw on. It might as well be a circus than a celebration. But let's not forget to get political. Can't have a parade without politics, right? And not just any kind of politics, the good kind. You know, left-wing politics. When you see a Hillary Clinton float, you cheer. And when you see a Donald Trump float, you boo. Remember, in the LGBTQ plus community, you have a set way of thinking, so don't get any bright ideas. Then you have the companies. The companies that all come together on June 1st to change their logos to the rainbow colors. Well, unless you're China or the Middle East, but we wouldn't want to seem racist, so let's take a page out of Lori Lightfoot when it comes to crime in Chicago and just ignore it. These companies simply just want your money. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? But it's the way they do it. They paint this narrative that it's all for a good cause. It's progress. It's growth. It's the right thing to do. And if you call them out on it, then you are a homophobe. However, a phobe is a fear. It's not gays, lesbians, bis, or trans many fear. It's the hostile takeover that many fear. The LGBTQ plus community is used as a weapon to shield criticism and help companies profit off of it in the name of righteousness. It's an instrument of power for political and social gain. Why would the ever-loving and open-minded LGBTQ plus community and its allies try to silence Blair White, who is trans? Or Dave Rubin, a gay man? What do these two have in common that would cause them to be seen as controversial? The problem is this. We can live our lives and leave people alone. We can live our lives in an authentic way instead of living by what the guidebook tells us to. We can express ourselves and not seem like attention-seeking children. We can listen to other opinions and not instantly place labels on them or screech buzzwords at them. I know a lot of people won't listen. They only hear what they want to hear. They've been conditioned to act solely on emotions and to think a certain way. They forget that they're individuals, not another sheep in a flock. They are so focused on taking pride in sexuality that defines them, when they could take pride in their own character and their own actions that really defines them. All the genders and pronouns won't make up for a shitty personality disguised as pride. When you can't get your head out of your ass to see why there's pushback from people who are tired of everything being hijacked and used as a weapon to silence critics. Maybe it's you who lost the plot and can't see the lack of progress. What does it say about you when certain topics are off limits, such as comedy? You people have gut-busting laughter when Stephen Colbert makes jokes about Republicans, but will rush on stage to attack Dave Chappelle with Squall Lionheart's gunblade because those jokes are going too far. Oh yeah, such progress and growth. When you look in the mirror, is it pride you see, or is it someone who so desperately seeks validation for their sexuality that they become unhinged degenerates whenever someone doesn't accept them? Because you have to be loved by everyone, no matter how erratic your behavior may be. If you need another example of how insane this group of people have become, then look no further than to Ezra Miller.